Police have swooped on a suspected kidnapping ring, arresting 10 people earlier today. That's after 29 people were rescued from a house in Orange Farm yesterday. Let's get the latest from Lieutenant Colonel Katlego Mogale. Good afternoon, Lieutenant. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us how police swooped on this alleged kidnapping ring.
Afternoon, Sally. This incident unfolded on Friday afternoon where a woman called her husband and said to him that she's being held against her will. People picked her up after the Beitbridge border on her way to Johannesburg, and police began their investigation then, and it went through right into the early hours of Saturday morning, where they managed to trace the suspect to a house in Orange Farm. When the woman was calling her husband, she alleged that she was in Midland. So most of the time we were within the Soweto area. And then eventually our investigation led us to Orange Farm in Rizik Faith.
So you managed to find this woman?
Yes, this woman was found, as well as 28 other people. At this stage, the police are busy with the investigation, and some of the people had their passports with them, and some of them, they say that the suspect has actually taken their passports.
What was the motive here, do you suspect? Were they trying to make these people pay money? Was there sex involved? What was going on?
According to our investigation, currently most of them, their money had been taken, as well as I said, their documentation. So currently those that we had their documentation, it was given back to them. Some of them have managed to call their families within South Africa to come pick them up, and the rest of them are still being housed at the police station. And tomorrow we will be conducting a ID parade as to some of the people can identify the suspects.
So all the people being held were foreign nationals, is that right?
Yes, most of them were Zimbabweans and Mozambicans.
Were they in South Africa illegally?
Currently, those that we have had documentation, they were in the country legally. And as to those that we could not find their documentation, we are going to enlist the assistance of Home Affairs tomorrow in order to ascertain as to whether they crossed the country into the country illegally.
So they were in South Africa legally and then kidnapped by a gang?
It would seem that these suspects kidnapped them from Beitbridge under the guise of operating a taxi service.
I see. And how long have these people been held?
It would seem some of them have been kept there for weeks.
For weeks? What kind of condition were they in?
It would seem that the suspects were actually feeding them, but their modus operandi is to phone their families and ask for ransom.
So it's kind of like a kidnapping scam in a way. They're definitely being held, but they're forcing the families to keep paying money.
Yes.
Goodness me. And tell us a little bit more about the suspects that have been arrested. Are they from the area?
The suspects are South African. Some of them are from Orange Farm, the Vaal area. And by tomorrow, most of them are between the ages of 19 and 35. And
do you suspect this is a one-off sort of thing? Is there a possibility that this sort of kidnapping thing is going on in other areas?
We are looking into that possibility.
So really what we're looking at is foreign nationals sort of being taken advantage of quite seriously.
It would seem that way, because they trusted the fact that these people are going to bring them into Joburg, where they will be able to phone their families and get directions to where they were going, because some of them are going as far as the Free State and Cape Town.
And what's the next step now in this procedure?
We will be enlisting the services of Home Affairs to ascertain those that don't have documentation, and as well as an ID parade will be conducted, and we are not ruling out the possibility that these people might be involved in human trafficking.
Oh my word, so this could be a much broader issue and a much more serious issue than initially believed.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel, for joining us on eNCA this afternoon.
News that moves. eNCA.com.